Hey there! If you're a dog owner here in Punta Gorda, you already know what an amazing place it is to live. So, we've put this little guide together to help you find that perfect trainer, the one who's going to help you and your pup enjoy everything our beautiful city has to offer.
Just picture it for a second. You're taking a nice, calm stroll down the harbor walk, and your dog is just trotting right beside you, no pulling. Or maybe you're grabbing coffee downtown and your dog is just chilling at your feet. That's the dream, right? Well, that's exactly what good training can do for you, right here in our own backyard.
Okay, so to make that happen, we've got to talk about training that's built for our Punta Gorda lifestyle.
You know, the best and kindest way to train dogs these days is something called positive reinforcement. Really, it's pretty simple. It just means you reward the good stuff, the behaviors you want to see more of. This helps build an awesome bond with your dog because learning becomes a fun game instead of something scary.
And that's really what it's all about, isn't it? It's not about teaching your dog to do circus tricks. It's about having a pup who can confidently handle all the things we see around here. The people and boats down at the waterfront, the bikes whizzing by on the linear park trail, you name it.
All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the different programs, formats, and of course, the costs.
So, you've basically got two main paths you can go down: group classes or private sessions. Group classes, they're great for getting your dog used to other dogs and people, and they're usually easier on the wallet. But private sessions, that's where you get a totally custom plan. They can tackle specific problems right in your own home, like that crazy barking every time the doorbell rings.
Okay, let's talk money. What can you expect to pay around here? This chart breaks it down for you. As you can see, a series of group classes will probably set you back a couple $100. Then you have things like board and train programs, which are a much bigger investment, of course. Hopefully this gives you a good ballpark idea for your budget.
All right, you've got the training philosophy down, you have a budget in mind, so how do you actually pick the right person? Let's talk about how to check out a professional trainer.
First thing to look for: certifications. I know, all these letters can look like alphabet soup, but they're really meaningful. They show that a trainer has actually passed some tough tests and stays up to date on the best methods. For most people, a credential like CPDTK is a really solid one to see.
When you're interviewing a trainer, here's your first must-ask question. Their answer is going to tell you everything you need to know. You're listening for words like rewards, positive, and fun. If they start talking about punishment or corrections, that might be a red flag if you're looking for that humane approach we talked about.
Here's another really important one. A great trainer doesn't just use the same old plan for every dog. They should be asking you what your goals are and then explain exactly how they're going to help your dog handle the real-life situations you'll face right here in our town.
You also want to know there's a real plan in place. So ask them how you'll both track your dog's progress. How will you know when it's time to go from practicing in your quiet backyard to trying things out at a busier spot, like Leash Park, for instance?
And last but not least, ask what you need to do. Because let's be honest, the real work happens between the sessions. A good trainer is going to give you clear, simple homework to practice with your dog to make sure all that learning really sticks. Okay, part of being a great dog owner around here is knowing the local rules and, the best spots to go.
All right, this is a super important one to remember. In Punta Gorda, and really all of Charlotte County, your dog has to be on a leash that's 6 feet or shorter in public places. Yep, that includes the harbor walk. And just a heads up, those long retractable leashes, they don't count. Besides the leash rule, there are just a couple other things to keep on your radar. You've got to have that up-to-date rabies vaccine, that's a state law, and you need the annual dog license from the county. Oh, and it's also worth knowing that nonstop barking can actually become a nuisance complaint, so that's definitely something to work on if it's an issue. Okay, now for the fun stuff. Where can you actually go to practice everything you're learning? Well, if you need a safe, fenced-in spot for off-leash stuff like practicing come, the Ponce de Leon Park Dog Park is perfect. For working on those leash skills with real distractions, you can't beat Leash Park or the linear park trail.
Here's a little piece of wisdom, especially if you've brought home a rescue dog. It's called the 3-3-3 rule. Basically, it's a reminder to be patient. Expect it to take about 3 days for them to just decompress, 3 weeks to start getting your routine down, and a full 3 months before they really truly feel like they're home. It's all about giving them time.
Because at the end of the day, this whole thing isn't just about having a dog that listens. It's about building this incredible partnership, one that lets you share everything you love about our town with your dog. Having that well-trained buddy by your side means you can include them in so much more, making life here in Punta Gorda even better for you both.